Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. So today we're going to play a game. It's called Doodle Empires. Basically you doodle on a map and you just kind of LARP a little bit. I thought it'd be fun. So, you know, we're on the Mediterranean map. So, none of this you can paint on, but all this. It doesn't matter. Okay, so we're just gonna, we're gonna make our first country. We're gonna make Egypt. And Egypt is gonna be like this. No. Like that. You're gonna do a bit thicker, the stem of Egypt. A bit less of a stem, more of a trunk now. Now, I want us to make a new nation. I'm gonna make... Who should we make? We're gonna make the Ottomans. Because I was gonna make the Byzantines, but I can just make Rome instead. Later on. So we're gonna make the Ottomans. They're gonna be up in Turkey, in Tekirdağ, in Constantinople, which it was called during Ottoman rule. It was only changed to Istanbul after the Ottomans fell, so it's lore accurate. Here we go with the Ottomans. Oh, the Ottomans are gonna find something. Okay, but we have to go with Islam, yeah. We're gonna go with Islam. And we're gonna follow whatever the card says. So, no vetoing. Well, with some exceptions. Okay, like a large expand, so yeah. There we go. It's gonna go down. Is this the Red Sea, I think? I think this is the Red Sea. Yeah, it can go up to the Holy Lands. And I'll go this way a little bit as well. Because, why not? The Ottomans are gonna do a small expand up here. Okay. Large expand. Okay, so it's just gonna be the Ottomans in Egypt seeing who can LARP the hardest as the world's best civilization. We're gonna give them all the Sinai Peninsula, I think that's what it's called, who cares? Another small expand. Okay, that's enough to get that. Get these 2 pixels, go up into Lebanon, I think. Is Lebanon up here? I don't know. A union. See, we're gonna make a veto here because there's only 2 countries and they likely don't even have contact with each other in the LARP lore. A great expand. Okay, the Great Ottoman King, Sultan, I don't know who ruled the Ottomans. You know, we can go up the coasts. There we go, we're gonna make a bit of a solid play like that. A colony on Crimea. Okay, I may have wasted it by going up here. But, like, it was a great expand, but this is all he got. This, and this. So I think it's because of this, because the hills -3, mountains -4. I might as well just, you know. Oh. Small expand. Just take all this land. Last small expand. Just going up the coast, it's a little gulf. No small expand, so they just take the gulf, and now they're gonna begin occupying Cyprus. And okay, Egypt has now landed on Anatolia, so we're gonna have the Egyptian-Ottoman conflict soon enough. Finally, a new nation. We should have a nation over here, so we're gonna have Carthaginians over here. We're gonna have Carthage. It's gonna be around this little basin of water. Okay, we're gonna select them again, so they can, you know, I'm gonna select them a few times. So they can be up to speed. Oh, and never mind, another nation. We're gonna go with Naples instead of Rome for now. Why? Because Rome is overrated. If we get another nation, well, if we get 2 more new nations, we'll make Rome. But I have plans. A union, we're going to veto unions for a good while. Okay, what was the face of the Carthaginians? I don't know, probably paganism. I'm not gonna fact check that though. So Union again, you gotta veto that. But we'll give them new leader. Okay, we'll give them another turn. Okay, so they're gonna be colonizing some islands, colonizing the 3 prongs of Greece. Nope, gonna always do the random. A new nation. Okay, so speaking of this, we're gonna do Sparta. I actually don't know that much about Sparta, so I should check up on my lore. I know they had the 300 against ancient Persia, but that's it. So there's no limit to the LARP! Large expansion. Okay, they're just gonna take the little high heel. Why? When people refer to the Italian boot, is this the boot? It has a high heel, or is this the boot? And this is like a tumor. Who knows, you know? Okay, Sparta's got a large expand. They're just gonna take over all this territory. Okay, they're gonna... Okay, I'm not gonna do anything actually. Okay, large expand. I wonder who the biggest is. It's one of these 3. Yeah, just objectively. Because there's something funky with the map projection in this game. So, you know, they're just gonna head deep into central Anatolia and get to this. They're gonna... Okay, Egypt now has access to the Black Sea. The Egyptians and Ottomans are gonna be big beefers, I can tell. So, yeah, a small split. Well, I mean, you know, yeah, we're late enough in. It makes sense to split, and you know they do have, a lot of territory. So we are gonna make Byzantium before Rome, and they're just gonna be on this side. You know, I'm not sure as to where. Oh, okay, they're gonna have that island as well. Okay, and then we have control over the straits. Okay, I guess it doesn't matter that much. A small expand. Oh, they're gonna go to war and crush the Byzantines. They're gonna crush the Byzantium. Who's gonna win? Well, it's looking like the Ottomans right now, because they get a small expand. They're gonna go over here. This is the first war, the Byzantine rebellion. They're also just gonna kind of. Oh, what? Huh? Oh, yeah. What? So because it's a war, we're gonna have a few turns just exclusively Ottomans and such. So yeah, they're gonna push them back here. You know, they're gonna try push them back here, push them back here. They have too much land there. I don't want the war to be over so early, so we're gonna expend some of the Ottomans' expansion on that. Small expand. Okay, well they're not gonna cross this because of the fort. So what's Byzantium gonna do? We're gonna veto that because I don't know what nation could possibly split off. Okay, we're gonna veto that as well. A union. You know what? I'll allow it. They unionized with the Ottomans. I don't know what the Byzantine leader did, but clearly he has 10 charisma. He has impeccable speech, 100 speech, and he just convinced the Ottomans to join under him. You know, maybe he could just convince the Ottomans to overthrow their leader. Who cares? It's now Byzantium. It doesn't matter that much anyway. It's just really a name change because they have Islam. Unless, of course, they found a new religion. They're going to found a faith. I don't know what the Spartans believed in, so we're just going to go Spartanism. Yeah, it's Spartanism. It's fair. Okay, the Egyptians, well, they're no longer going to beef with the Ottomans, but they're going to beef with the Byzantines. Now they're going to establish a colony up here in Crimea. Crimea is going to kind of be the colonial centre for now. There's not a lot of places where they can establish colonies anyway. Now maybe they take Rhodes. I think Egypt is getting a bit overextended, but it doesn't matter, you know. Unless they split, they're going to be stable. Okay, so Egypt is a really powerful nation here. medium expand. I guess they're just gonna kind of take control of the 3 prongs, get this, and kind of establish control. They're gonna build a fort. I don't know where any cities are, so we're just gonna make Athens here, because why not? Medium expand. They should take over the boot of Italy, and they're gonna control the Sicilian Strait. I don't know if that's what it's called, but I don't care. Small expansion. Gonna kick the Byzantines out. Can take an empire. This isn't gonna start a war because this is like, I think, ancient era. So realistically, they wouldn't really notice. They're also gonna take this island because it was bugging me that they didn't have this pixel. So yeah, they're just gonna kind of advance. No, Carthage isn't gonna adopt a new faith. Okay, they're gonna expand into Albania. And over here, they're gonna need to expand. They're just gonna take Sicily, or most of Sicily. Fort Stinky. Now actually do something. Stop trying to split up Carthage. They have the Great leader with the title the Great, and yet they've expanded no times. Build a fort. Ream. Small expand. Oh, there's a little guy here. That's a cute little guy. If we get another new nation this next turn, I'm going to make this guy his own nation. His little face. Yeah, they're so close to touching without touching. It's like the one painting where Adam and God, they have their fingers, but they're not touching. You know. Medium expand. They should expand more into Anatolia, actually. I don't know what I'm doing. They're just going to take these islands. And they're going to begin colonizing in Africa. Medium expand, Sardinia. They're just going to meet the border with Rome. Age of Unity. They're going to found a faith. What are they going to found? You know, we already have paganism, so. Catholicism. That's how you spell it. Because, you know, they were Catholic, the Catholic Church, the Roman Catholic Church. Or the Roman Catholic Church, sorry. A union. I guess they just take over Rome. Okay, Rome was a short-lived, but I guess they just kind of convinced them to join Naples. These guys want a union. They have no neighbors, so no. Egypt really wants a union, but they have no one to unionize with. Sad fate for Egypt. Fort Turd. Because I don't know any other cities to name forts after. So, you know, they're just going to begin traveling through Anatolia. No unions. Sparta's got a medium expand. Oh. Another medium expand. They're just going to colonize Crete. Because no other civilization is on Crete yet. They're finally going to meet up with Byzantium, but it's not even at this point. But you know what? They can meet up at this point too. Large expand, just take over all of Sardinia and Corsica and this place. See, Naples is just kind of looking like Italy now. They've unified everything. We need to start a war soon, but I mean, we already did. We had the Ottoman-Byzantine War, so you know. Aquitania. I don't know what Aquitania actually is, but I know it exists. So Aquitania exists now, and they're orange. So we're gonna change their color actually to something not orange, because it gets confusing. Yeah, it looks kind of like water, but whatever. Small expand. So they're just taking all of Turkey and none of Egypt. You know, completely forgot that they wanted this land. A large expand. They're just gonna go straight into the mountains, straight into the mountains, and into the Balearic Islands. Small expand. It's looking more and more like Turkey. Ugh, what are these strange pixels? I don't like them. We're gonna get rid of them. This is just Middle Turkey. See, 25,000, 9,000, 4,000, 11,000, 6,000, and 5,000. A new nation, okay. Kinda running out of spots to make new nations. Persia. Yeah, Persia. Persia was an ancient nation. Okay. They'll follow this little river, I don't know what it's called. But yeah, Persia. No more adopting faiths. Okay, Carthage hasn't done anything except try to adopt people's faiths and change their leader. And spread their faith. Okay, they're gonna spread their faith to Aquitania, I guess. So now they believe in paganism. I don't know if that's even what Carthage believes in, but you know, whatever. There we go. Now they're finally going to meet up with Naples, and they're not going to like them, so they're going to attack their colony, and they're going to begin taking over their colony. Meanwhile, Egypt is just going to have all of that. Okay, the Byzantines have done nothing in ages. So Mall expand, yeah, they're just going to take over the Naples colony, and take over their islands. This is going to be the first war, the Naples-Carthaginian War. Well, the second war, actually. Okay, unions are gone. We're on Persia now. I mean, yeah, the Naples-Rheims Union was funny, but that was a one-time thing. Okay, they're just going to go up and over into this little land. New leader. Medium expand. Ancient Persia is not looking too good, because their expansionist Hilldweller, leader. Okay, Egypt is going to found a faith. I don't know what the Egyptian religion was called, but it's Egyptian mythology. Okay, they're just going to kind of... Okay, so Persia's expanding into the desert. Okay, Egypt is getting a split. That's good. I'm thinking we could go with Turkey, but I don't know how big the split is going to be. We're going to go with Turkey. We're going to go with Turkey. Not the Ottomans, but Turkey. They're going to take Cyprus and Crete, which isn't Turkey at all, actually. So why are they called Turkey? Because there's a Turkish revolt, you know. This isn't a peaceful secession. I mean, it could be, I don't know. See, that's not a peaceful secession, so this is a war. Okay, so they're gonna begin marching in. Yeah, you know, they're gonna launch the battle up the rivers and take them. You know, and they're gonna push to like here, and then Egypt's gonna be like, okie dokie, pal, we don't care. Okay, what's Egypt's response gonna be? Oh, they're gonna clash back, liberating Cyprus, and launching a massive offensive into Turkey. The Byzantines gonna intervene? Yeah, they are. They're just gonna kind of seize the opportunity and take a bunch of land for themselves. A bunch of owned land that they never otherwise would have. Okay, now we're gonna go to these guys, Aquitania and Carthage. Since we already have a war ongoing, we're gonna delay this war. It's not gonna be the third war ever. Yeah, Carthage is just creeping along the coast. Yeah, Carthage is just creeping up on the coast. And they're just gonna do that. That's the most ugliest board ever. They're gonna have a large expand. The Byzantines, this could be interesting. They're gonna unite with the Turkish revolt. But the Ottomans are actually gonna be like, yeah, no, we don't like this, and they're gonna come back and revolt against the Byzantines. Their revolt is gonna exclusively be in Anatolia, though. Because, you know, it would make sense for the capital city to revolt. I guess it didn't make sense for the Ottomans' capital city to revolt either. Was Constantinople the Ottoman capital? I don't know. I don't care, actually. So yeah, they're actually going to take Fort Turd as well. So now the Ottomans and Egyptians are kind of on the same side, even though they were supposed to be the biggest beefers ever. So now this is like a three-way war. Something. So is this the Byzantines? Yeah, they're gonna launch their offensive in there. Okay, they're gonna split. So we're not gonna have Turkey, but we're gonna have Crimea. It's gonna be this brown color, and it's gonna be in Crimea and like this land. And that's it. They're gonna large expand. They're gonna launch their campaign across northern Algeria and just take it. Octania, who's done nothing, is gonna attack Naples up here and seize their lands. Naples isn't gonna tolerate that, and so they're just gonna break apart, and Rheims is gonna return. And since Rheims is returning, they're just gonna take the islands with them in the divorce. Well, some of the islands. Okay, they're gonna take all the islands with them in the divorce, and also this land, whatever it's called, Elysia. This is Illyria. I don't know what that is. Little dongle in Sparta. A union. I guess with the loss of their capital, the Byzantines now surrender to the Ottomans. And it's kind of like a reverse of the former situation. So now they're just going to kind of, Egypt, these are just kind of unoccupied territories at this point, They're allied, they agree that they'll take some territory and that they'll get this territory. Because Egypt doesn't want to go to war. That war was pretty exhausting. Not really, doesn't matter. But my LARP doesn't want to do that. And also, I don't want Egyptian Anatolia to continue being a thing. So we're just going to kind of... I could free paint this, but I'm not going to. Oh, we have a fort there. We're going to... Nowherington land. Okay, the new city of Nowherington land, built in Anatolia. They're going to adopt a faith. You know what? They're not gonna, because that would... No, it wouldn't, because Sparta... Oh, well, already. Not done it now, so I can't go back and do it. There we go. And now, the last thing, they're just gonna kind of colonize islands. Okay, it wants to do them anyway. Okay, it wants to give them a new leader. Egypt is gonna adopt a faith, but that's gonna get rid of one of the faiths of the world. We want to preserve every faith as long as possible. Yeah, just conflict. A large expand. Now they're gonna just attack Octania, and they're just gonna take all this land like cha. Except they're not gonna do that. Okay, so Crimea. They realise they're just no, not Crimea. They look similar, but they're not the same. Oh yeah, Egyptian Crimea is fucked. That's gonna rebel. Cyprus realizes that they're kind of cornered. So they just kind of send out a long voyage passing through Carthaginian waters. And eventually they kind of just come here. And they're like, okay, we're just going to establish a settlement here. It's probably going to break away from the mainland Crimean government. But the thing is that they're just going to flee there if Crimea gets invaded. Okay, so we have our nation here that we've decided to put over here. Never in a million years you'll guess what they are. Seriously. I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3. It's the Kwebblekop. The Kwebblekop Horde. Why? Because, orange. Okay, these guys, they're gonna adopt paganism from Carthage, even though they're enemies for some reason. So, the Kwebblekop Horde, are just gonna take over this land. Oh, they're Kwebblekop. Who's their leader's name? I don't care. I'm changing it to Kwebblekop. Kwebblekop the Great, who's a jungle explorer, is gonna just liberate Crimea from the hands of the colonizers. Oh yeah, these guys could actually be serious villains in the run. Okay, no, you're not gonna find a new faith. They are gonna... Who's this? Oh, it's these guys. Okay, well, they're there now. It's Crimea. And it put me here, so, can you... There we go. So, I thought it was Carthage, and instead they're gonna continue their war against Algeria. Who likely just... What's Algeria gonna do? They're gonna do that. And I guess... You know, they're just gonna make peace, because these are some ugly borders. And I want to preserve them. What even is this land? I'm going to build a place here in the new nation. I'm going to call it Dingleville. Dingle Tingle Land. Yo, guys. Who's invading the country? It's Dingle Tingle Land. Oh, no. We are so fucked. Okay, Ream. They're just gonna invade Octania still, and they're just gonna they're gonna be like, have a Ream, just conquer. No, I need another because I'm fucking idiot, and I had these encirclements. Okay. Now let's make the borders actually kind of look nice. This isn't even Octania, it's just Liberia at this point, who cares? So now they've decided to peace out. Okay, Kwebblekop the Great, I never changed his name, but we're just gonna call him Kwebblekop the Great. Because the real leader is Kwebblekop. You know, the Kwebblekop Horde, it's like Mongolia. So all this, where land should be, and all up here, you know, this is actually Kwebblekop land, you just can't see it. You don't, you know, you're just not able, your eyes aren't able to gaze upon the glory of the Kwebblekop Horde. In its full extent. So, you know, they're just gonna come here, they're actually gonna raid Ottomans. Right, the Ottomans down here. You know, you know, this is just kind of a land that they've forgotten about. But, you know, the Kwebblekop Horde, they're actually just going to launch a full-scale attack on this region. Another great expand. So, yeah, they're just going to completely destroy the Ottomans, basically. Yeah, they've cut the Ottomans in two. They've taken this land. Yeah, it's GG's for the Ottomans. They just were destroyed by the Horde. Can they do something? Yeah, they can. They can liberate this land and liberate the land. You know, they're actually going to launch an attack into Crimea. It doesn't go well. And you can see, they're like, okay, is they going to send the Kwebblekop Navy and just take Constantinople? Try and force them to surrender. Their forces are going to push down, but they're not going to make it. Okay, we can check upon the war later. Okay, these guys, they're just going to attack Morocco. They don't like them. These guys are actually just going to adopt the paganism faith. So they're able to liberate this side, and they're able to kind of encircle the city. But, you know, Kwebblekop's got a firm grip of it. They are able to push him back and almost encircle his army. Okay, given that paganism is spread, they're going to adopt Egyptian mythology, Carthage's. These guys, they're going to adopt... Okay, the Ottomans are going to adopt paganism now, instead. Why? Because I said they should. Oh, they're going to split. The Byzantines are going to... I should have done Turkey, but it's too late. It's done the Byzantines. The Byzantines are going to come back, and they're going to be like... we're the Byzantines, and we're back. Hello. Just gonna take all this. Man. I have to split the Ottomans up so much, you know, I want this to be like a small scale. Okay, GG's for the Ottomans, because the way, the amount of stuff they're giving me makes it seem like they really just want me to just castrate the Ottomans. In a metaphorical sense, of course. Just gonna take nothing to nothing. Nowhereington land, not Notherington land. They're just gonna build a fort here and they call it Fort Tinkle. Spelled that way for some reason. Oh, Athens, I mean Sparta is gonna split. into Athens. The Athens in like, yeah, with all the chaos in the region, they're gonna seize the opportunity to revolt. And yeah, they're just gonna revolt up in here, kind of destroying Sparta, as they kind of need these lands to access Albania. So we could see Albania coming in the future. The Age of Unity. A medium expand. Yeah, they're just gonna kind of just annihilate the Moroccans. Oh, but then they take over Crimea. Oh shit, I forgot. I don't know how. I guess they're just like, they had a really persuasive argument. And, de jure, this is Moroccan, but in reality it's just independent. A union. No more unions. Adopt faith. No. Not yet. Egypt can adopt Islam. Small expand. Persia's finally doing shit. So they can go up here and they can do their plan. Their plan is actually to invade the Kwebblekop. A union? No, it make the Kwebble too OP. Sorry, Kwebble. Gotta deny that request. But you can destroy the Ottomans and the Byzantines if you want. I made the... no! No new nations. I'm vetoing it because I'm busy. There we go. There's a... yeah, they're gonna liberate Constantinople. These guys... they're gonna launch their attack into Naples. Like... no unions! Medium expand. They're actually gonna push back. But they're not gonna reach Athens. No, they're gonna encircle and just destroy their forces. Then launch up. Destroy all this. Destroy this island. And yeah, the Albanian army and the Spartan army were a bit messed up. We're back. So, what were we doing? I don't know. But basically, I had to go take a break. But I'm back now. So we're making a new nation. Okay, sure. I'll make a new nation. The Alpine Pinelands. Oh, no. We'll have the Alpine this. I guess, because that's what the game wants. Okay, this is a very small nation. We're gonna give it another turn. It's like large expand. It's just gonna be. We'll give it one more turn. I'm not gonna build a fort. We're gonna go Harrison Fort. Okay, we have to continue the Great Kwebblekop War. Oh, another great expand. Kwebblekop crushes their forces down here. Just crushes them. That's a little face here. Yeah, he completely crushes the Byzantine army. Kwebblekop the Great. I still haven't changed his name. He's gonna land at Fort Tur, take it over, and he's just gonna. Oh, it's GG's for Byzantium and the Ottomans because they're just in Turkey. But oh well. Yeah, who wants to render? Oh, the Alpine people want to turn. I don't know what happened here, but okay, I didn't do that. See, they're just gonna go like that. It's the age of conflict. I don't know what else it could have been. So basically, they're gonna try and they're gonna push the Kwebblekoppians out, but it is taking a lot to even do. Who is splitting? I don't know. Medium expand is the Great Albanian Empire. They're gonna build a fort. Fort Kilowatt. Because they're friends. Yeah, they're just gonna take Fort Gigawatt. But Carthage isn't gonna be happy and they're gonna retake it. And they're gonna do a little more than that. And they're just gonna go up here and destroy them. They're gonna have a large expand. They're gonna navally attack, take this land, and get some extra stuff. Someone's adopting the faith. They're gonna adopt Egyptian mythology because they're friends. a medium expand, so they're just gonna and begin just crushing the Roman army, sorry. These guys are just gonna fix these ugly borders and make uglier borders. Sparta is going to be enraged. However, they don't want to crush Greece because they lost like all their army. So instead they're going to go after the weakened Byzantiums, who are heavily weakened from the Great Kwebblekop War. Oh, Kwebblekop is destroying them. If they don't get a leader change, if Kwebblekop the Great stays in power, it is over. I'm going to fix the boards a little bit. There we go. No, he's even going to attack Greece and take this land. He's an enemy to all, ally to none. He's going to go down here to No Warrington land. And he's going to make the ugliest borders ever. No! They killed him for making these ugly borders. They're going to found it. Don't they already have a face? They do, so they're not going to do that. They killed him for making ugly borders. So now there's an expansionist flatlander in charge, Kwebblekop second or something. But yeah, this could be the end of the Kwebble army. Okay, so they're just gonna kind of go up to the Alpine border and be like, because you know, yeah, why aren't they contributing to the war? Because their forces are all encircled. I mean, they can try, they can do that. That's it. Oh no. Yeah, yeah. GG. 2 turns in a row. Yeah, I'm predicting that in the end game, which probably won't happen this video because this video is already over 30 minutes long. It's gonna be the Quebbles and Dingle Dingleland. So we're gonna have the last 5 turns here. This is the last 5 turns. Unless it's like leader changes, we can veto that. Okay, medium expand. This is the Great Quebble War. They're going to expand into the Ottomans. However, the main thing is they're going to expand into the Byzantines. I mean, crushing them. Someone got a large expand. It's these guys. If their forces are all encircled, I mean, they're going to liberate these guys, but that's a lost cause. That's like most of their forces, so it's GG. Oh, the Quebbles are going to get another large expand. They're just going to take that for beginning their assault. We're going to veto that. So that was... I'm just going to say 2. Because I don't want to go back and look. Fan Faith. We're going to go Dinglism. This isn't going to count as a turn. Because Dinglism... it doesn't matter. These guys are going to split. Okay, we're going to have... No, not Gibraltar. We're going to have Crimea, which is actually Cyprus. And I made that mistake too many times to be comfortable with. So that was, this is gonna say that's turn 3. No, it's gonna be that, because I don't feel like doing that. No, I don't want to make any nation. We're gonna not do any nations on the last turn. Adopt paganism. That's not a turn though. Here we go. So this is turn 4, I want to say, of the final 5. The final turn is the Remans are gonna do this and do that. That felt anticlimactic. One last turn. We're gonna give the Quebble. We're gonna give Byzantium a turn. No. Okay, Byzantium's gonna do that. What are the Quebble's gonna get? They're gonna get a large expand. Okay, they're gonna just colonize everything to do with anything in the world. They're just gonna get all their islands and try push and cut them off at the coast. We'll give the Quebbles one more turn. Okay, we're gonna give the Ottomans a turn. Small expand. You can take No Warrington land, but that's it. So the state of the world. Persia hasn't had a turn in time. Medium expand. So maybe they can be the saviour against the Quebbles as they unroach from the Caucasus. Only time will tell. And if part 2 is made, we might see the end or the further rise of the Kwebblekop. I can never say his name. The Kwebblekop Horde and Dingle Dingleland. So as you can see, this is the full map full origin mode, full faith mode, fort mode, terrain mode, and group mode. What is it? I don't know what a group is, so that mode doesn't matter. But that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. This was Doodle Empires on the British Turnip channel. So, if you enjoyed, like and subscribe, please, and stay tuned for a further video. P.S. My next video, well, not my next video, but one of my future videos is going to be, I don't tell anyone, Project Zomboid. But you didn't hear that from me. Okay, so, goodbye all, and see you next time. Bye.